I've been covering AI for a while, and even I had to just kind of sit back and catch my breath after the first 2 weeks of March 2026. Seriously, we saw more major releases packed into a few days than we used to see in entire quarters. But this isn't just about more stuff. Underneath all that chaos, something fundamental is shifting. So, yeah, let's get into it. And that quote, it just hits the nail on the head, right? This isn't about incremental updates. It's not just another wild week in the news cycle. What we all just witnessed was a genuine realignment of the entire AI landscape. It's changing the very definition of what's possible for developers, for businesses, and for pretty much every creator out there. So, before we break it down, let's just take a moment to really grasp the scale of what was unleashed. It was an absolute flood of new technology. Okay, get ready for this. First, OpenAI drops GPT 5.4 with a crazy 1 million token context window. Then, bam, Alibaba unleashes QN 3.5. Mistral comes out and unifies three of its models into one powerhouse. We got open source 4K video, real-time video generation, a monster coding agent from NVIDIA. And honestly, the list just keeps going. So what on earth is really going on here? Well, it turns out there are two massive trends driving this whole explosion. All right, so the first big trend is this. AI models are getting way smarter, but also radically more efficient. The game is no longer just about who can build the biggest, most massive model. It's about who can get the most intelligence out of the least amount of compute. And this slide tells the whole story. It's fascinating. On one side, you've got Alibaba's open source model, Qwen 3.5. It's about 9 billion parameters. On the other side, a huge, closed, proprietary model at 120 billion parameters. And when you put them head-to-head on graduate-level reasoning tests, the little guy wins. This isn't just a small upset. It's proof that a whole new era of architecture is here. And that efficiency, well, it translates directly into cost. Qwen 3.5 is roughly 13 times cheaper to run than a comparable proprietary model. For a startup trying to build something new, that's literally the difference between being in business and not. It's a game changer. So how is that even possible? How can a model that's just a fraction of the size deliver that kind of punch? Well, it all comes down to two incredibly clever architectural shifts that are basically rewriting the rules of AI from the inside out. So the first one is called Mixture of Experts, or MOE for short. The easiest way to think about it is like having this huge team of specialist consultants on call. Now, instead of getting every single consultant on a call for every single question, you have a smart router that just picks the 2 or 3 best experts for that specific problem. So you get all the benefits of that massive knowledge pool, but at a tiny fraction of the cost. The second trick is called tensor networks, and this is wild. It comes straight from the world of quantum physics. It's a technique designed to find and just get rid of all the redundancy in these massive datasets. One physicist described it perfectly. He said it's like taking this giant uncookable sausage and twisting it into perfectly portioned cookable links. It makes a colossal problem totally manageable without losing any of the good stuff. Okay, so this new efficiency we've been talking about, it leads directly into our second major trend. Because of it, AI is no longer about building one-size-fits-all chatbots. No, it's fragmenting into this universe of highly specialized, purpose-built tools. And you can see this happening nowhere more clearly than in video. Just take a look at the two titans of AI video right now, OpenAI's Sora 2.0 and Kuaishou's Kling 3.0. They're both incredible, don't get me wrong, but they're optimized for completely different jobs. Sora is essentially a world simulator. It's obsessed with getting physics and motion just right, which makes it perfect for things like visual effects. Kling, on the other hand, it's an artist. It's focused on cinematic textures, native 4K resolution, and stunning detail, which makes it absolutely ideal for commercials or fashion shoots. So that's the crucial point right there. It comes down to this. Are you trying to simulate reality with perfect physics, or are you trying to create art with perfect pixels? That's the fundamental choice facing creators now. And the good news is, there are amazing, specialized tools for both paths. And this trend, it goes way beyond just creative work. The exact same kind of specialization is exploding in the world of enterprise software development, where performance on very specific tasks is everything. And this chart just illustrates the point perfectly. Look at this. On the SWE bench, which is a key benchmark for software engineering, NVIDIA's specialized coding agent, Nematron 3 Super, just crushes a general-purpose model. It's not just a little bit better, it's in a different league, because it was purpose-built to solve complex coding problems. The results really do speak for themselves. So let's put the pieces together. We have hyper-efficient models on one hand and hyper-specialized tools on the other. What happens when you combine them? Well, you get a fundamental transformation in how businesses operate. It's a shift that analysts are starting to call the agentic pivot. You see, for the past few years, AI in the business world has been all about chatbots and little experiments. But in 2026, we've clearly crossed a threshold. The technology is finally mature enough for full-scale, mission-critical deployment. Now, what's really interesting here is the data. Over half of companies, 53% to be exact, are now past what they call the pilot purgatory stage. They are actively deploying AI agents or even re-engineering entire workflows around them. This isn't some future trend we're talking about. It is happening right now. And this is the core idea of that agentic pivot. We are moving away from passive AI assistants that just sit there and wait for you to type a prompt. We're moving toward autonomous AI agents that you give a goal, something like resolve this customer's IT ticket or debug this production outage, and they just go off and execute the multi-step plan to get it done. We're shifting from AI as a tool to AI as a teammate. And this creates a really fascinating new challenge for business leaders. I mean, when you have these autonomous agents working around the clock, the old ways of measuring productivity and return on investment, they just start to break down. People are starting to call it the ROI enigma. So what does all this actually mean for you? Let's bring it all together with some clear, actionable takeaways, whether you're a developer out there building the future or a leader trying to navigate it. For all the developers listening, the message is crystal clear. Thanks to these new efficient models like Qwen 3.5, you can now build seriously powerful AI that runs directly on a phone. The on-device opportunity is real. With tools like LX 2.3, open source video is no longer a toy. It is absolutely production ready. And as we saw with Nematron, NVIDIA has a commanding lead in specialized coding agents. The whole game has changed. And for leaders, the imperatives are much more strategic. It's probably time to start thinking about a chief orchestration officer to manage this new human-machine workforce. It's time to rewrite job descriptions around new skills. And crucially, it's time to get a real handle on the costs of these always-on agents with a dedicated FinOps for AI function. That's essentially financial operations just to manage your AI spending. And ultimately, that's the profound shift we are all living through right now. The models we saw released in March 2026, they aren't just better tools, they are the foundation for a brand new kind of digital coworker. The question is no longer if this is happening. The real question is, are you and your organization ready for what comes next?